What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Juice and Toya podcast, brought to you by One Body Los Angeles. I am your co-host, Juice.
And I am Toya. Welcome back to episode 4.
Episode 4, baby. We here.
Of our Juice and Toya podcast.
Man.
So we're excited. This has been really fun, honestly. It's been...
Honestly, this podcast is just what we do on a normal basis. Like, we have conversations like between ourselves, and you're just here to join the conversation. You know what I mean? So, real quick housekeeping before we get started.
Yeah, we have a fun conversation today.
Hey.
But a little bit of housekeeping if you're listening to this. Kansas City, we are coming to you with a live workout as part of our Summer Sweat series. So if you're listening to this, signups are open.
Right now.
We will be there August 12th. Bringing you a fire workout. We're coming to have some fun.
Yeah.
So don't miss out. That we finished LA and it was a blast. We have Houston this week.
Yep.
We cannot wait. And then we have Kansas City. So if you're in the Kansas City area or in the surrounding Midwest, we all know that that is a drivable distance if you live in any part of the radius. So even if you're not in the Kansas City area and you want to come join us, come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
And tickets are limited. So be sure to get your tickets as soon as they come out because Houston sold out fast. And granted, that's my hometown. And I had a few friends and actually, it's a majority of people that we don't really know. So get those tickets quick. They will go fast. And we're trying to keep it small and intimate. We're not doing, hundreds of people. I think we're going to do like 30 people max in this one. So try to get your tickets as early as you can and get your spot so we can have some fun. So Summer Sweat, Kansas City, we coming to you. And we'll do some more cities. We're still trying to plan out the year. Like, travel is crazy this year, but we would love to come to some different cities. So drop some comment suggestions where you want us to come, and we'll try to make it happen.
We see all your comment suggestions of the cities, and we love it. So, like you said, let us know where you want us to come. And we'll do more of these in the future for sure.
100. Also, we have some brand new merch dropping too within the next week or so. We are in partnership, One Body Los Angeles in partnership with Lululemon. So check out our merch. We have some merch on our website right now, onebodyla.com. You can check out some of our Lululemon merch, but we got some brand new styles coming in. We got some short sleeves, some tanks, all
biker shorts with pockets.
Oh yeah.
Self-explanatory.
So Lululemon has the best clothes on earth. So go check that out right now. But in a week or so, we will be dropping those new clothes as well. So just had to put that out there real quick. So that's the quick housekeeping. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
You saw this title and you're probably wondering what is this about? So I have had this. I don't know what it is. I've had this hypothetical running through my brain for a long time. And the question is, if your body, what if your body could talk to you? Verbally talk to you?
Like your organs open their mouth and speak.
Your muscles, your bones, your blood, your brain. Well, your brain already talks to you, but...
It's almost like, what if your dog could talk to you? You always wonder. It's like... What about your own?
How would life be if your body could verbally talk to you on a daily basis? Would it be annoying? Like, would it be like?
Helpful?
I'm sure it would be helpful because your body's telling you what it needs every day, and your body's probably very needy. I don't know. Would it be needy? Would it be? I don't know.
That depends.
What do you think? Like what? Like if your body like. Take us through a day of what your body like. How would your body talk to you on a daily basis?
Like me specifically?
You specifically.
Well, when I wake up in the morning, it would probably be like, why are we up? I love sleeping. So it would probably be like, why are you awake already?
Yeah.
If I've gotten my 8 hours, maybe not. But very first thing in the morning, I think that my brain would probably be like, lay back down. And I would be like, no, we have to get up and work. And my brain would be like, but I don't want to lay back down.
Yeah, I feel like it would be very conflicting, especially... I guess I'm trying to look at it in a sense of, is each individual body part talking to you, or is it just one collective group? Like, you know what I mean?
That's actually, I think it would be one collective. Like, I think inside of you is a voice that is your body, and then on the outside of you, right? So I guess that inner voice would tell me, lay back down. But now that you say that, when you are talking to yourself in your head, is that not that inner voice?
I think, see, that's
like if I'm like sitting here right now thinking like I'm hungry, but I don't say it out loud. Yeah. That is an inner voice, no?
Yeah, that's your inner voice. So I think it's a collective thing because you have things throughout the day that tell you, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm thirsty. oh, I'm feeling tight. Oh, my neck hurts. You know what I mean? Those are like, I guess.
So your body does talk to you.
It does talk to you. It just doesn't tell you. You feel it, I guess.
So what are then you're saying like for example, if you were dehydrated, what would it say to you? If you were tight, like you're saying that specifically.
Like
okay.
I'm thinking, and then also does your body, would it like talk to you how you talk? Like,
yeah, I think so. I think my
like,
body
yo,
would
bro,
have
you haven't drank water all day. I need 60 ounces right now.
Right now.
Or I'm shutting this whole party down. Like
the whole body will be shut down.
You heard of Charlie Horse? Have you heard of Charlie Horse? If you don't drink water, you will meet Charlie Horse.
Well, I think that if our bodies could physically speak to us, yes, I think that they would have an attitude with you in a situation like that. Or if you had a good workout, your body might be like, dang, girl, that was a good workout. Like, good job. Girl. Like, high five, like.
But also, I feel like, would your body care about your aspirations? Because I feel like in a sense your body would be selfish. Like your body only cares about one thing, making sure it has the nutrients, food, water, everything it needs to survive. So I feel like does your body care that you have if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel or a business, or like, is it worried about that, or is it more so worried about
I think it's just worried about sustaining. Absolutely would probably be selfish in a sense of like sustaining the organs, because that is its job. Like I think our body that voice would be selfish in terms of like, I understand you want to stay up and finish this video, but if you don't get some rest, we're going to be so fatigued tomorrow that you're not doing any work.
So it's understanding. It's selfish, but like it's understanding is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like it wants to survive. Yeah. So if we don't give it the things to survive, like you said, if you're dehydrated, it's telling you, okay, I told you, give me water now or I will shut this party down quickly.
I could see that. But I guess putting it like this, it has every right to be selfish, because without your body, nothing else can happen. So I guess it makes sense for it to be like, I don't care about what you got going on. Yo, we need food, or I need protein.
Yeah, because without those things, like we say all this to say your body does talk to you, right? Yeah. And so without those things, like if your body's like, I need water, and you keep saying like, I don't care. Yeah. All right, fine. I tried to tell you I need water. Now you're extremely dehydrated. You're about to pass out.
Okay, let me put it like this. How would your body talk to you? Let's say, we eat generally healthy throughout the week. We work out. We do all the right things. We like to feel good, which is why we, do the things we do. But on the weekends, on vacation, we like to sometimes enjoy some different foods, some foods that aren't necessarily great for us. Maybe even alcohol. What would your body say? Do you think your body's understanding, like, oh, go have fun, or is it just like, bro, you don't need that?
I think to an extent. I think my body absolutely is like, girl, have fun, enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. You deserve it, to a limit, because seriously, too much tequila, too much wine. Let me start with wine. Too much wine for me. I break out really bad. I'm really fatigued. Yeah. And a wine headache is not fun, right? But a glass of wine, probably those things aren't going to happen. 2 glasses, my body's like, okay. 3 glasses are like, done. Yeah. I told you at 2, okay, you didn't listen to me, and that's what you get. Yeah. It's like when you're growing up and you don't listen to your parents, they usually know best. They tell you not to do something like jumping on the couch. Don't jump on the couch.
For sure.
Keep jumping on the couch.
Or don't,
then boom.
Or don't touch the oven. It's going to burn you. Or don't touch the stove. And what do you do?
Yeah. So I think it's just like that. Or like food, for example, recently randomly discovered I have some type of lactose. Like I used to eat Greek yogurt all the time.
Welcome
and
to
whatever
the club.
ice cream I wanted to, it's not the case anymore. Yeah. I don't know how that happened. So now I'm like, I can have Greek yogurt. It's fine. I ate a Greek yogurt and I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts, So I think with certain foods, with alcohol, yes, of course, like enjoy yourself in moderation, but with any foods that are, any food in general, if I eat too much in general, if you're full, think about when you're really, really full and you're like, I'm going to keep eating it.
Yeah,
it's
your
good.
body's like, yo.
You usually get a stomach ache, right? So I think my body personally would be like, you knew better. You did it anyways.
Correct.
Now you're going to deal with the consequences like everything else in life.
Yeah, I feel like our bodies would be our parent in that sense, like how you just said, because at the end of the day, it's like you have your outer voice or your outer self and your inner self. Your outer self obviously wants to do all the right things, right? Mm-hmm. It wants to or your outer self just wants to live, right? It just wants to go about life. Obviously we want to do the right things. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy the fruits of what life has to offer. But then the inside is more realistic. I feel like the inside is like, yeah, have your little fun, but hey, we have life to live. Like we have things that needs to be taken care of. We need all the necessities to make sure we're healthy, to make sure we have, longevity. And this kind of goes into like, we talk about our business called One Body. Like our motto is you only get one, right? You can't, if you drink every day, if you drink alcohol every day, at some point your liver and your kidneys, they're done. And you can't just go to Walmart and buy a new kidney and a new liver and be good, right? That's it. Like you only get one. You only
wait
get
till 20.
Yeah.
55. I don't know. This world.
Exactly. I mean, you never know, but at the end of the day,
you can't get a new body. This is the one.
This is the one that you get. So the name of the game is all about longevity, right? Everybody has a different motivation for working out. Some people want the aesthetics. Some people want to feel good. Some people just want to be able to move and are just blessed to move their body every day. But for the most part, people who go to the gym every day, who put energy into their body, who eat, focus on the nutrition, everything that goes into being healthy, the name of the game, I think we can all collectively say, like, we're here because we want longevity, right? We want to live as long as possible. We want to move our bodies, as long as possible. And I think our body, talks to us in a lot of different ways. So where we're getting at this topic today is, while our body can't verbally talk to us, it talks to us, right? Yeah. And it's just a matter of us listening. Or, some people just don't know how to listen to your body. And that's what this podcast is all about, is learning the different areas in which...
Understanding your body's language.
There we go. I couldn't get it out, but that was it.
Understanding the language. So
maybe that'll be the title of the podcast, Understanding Your Body's Language. Yeah,
obviously it would be much easier, especially when it comes to what should I eat, because everyone's body is different. What workouts suit me best, right? It would be so easy if I told my body, hey girl, I'm trying to grow your glutes. And my body says, go do some hip thrusts and then eat some chicken and sweet potato.
I'd be like, okay.
Cool. Right? Or if my body was like, I do not like Greek yogurt, I'd be like, all right, then we're not going to give you any more Greek yogurt, right? It would be so nice if my body just physically straight up told me, this is what I need, this is what I don't need, this is what you need to do. I'd be doing that, right?
And I personally think the key to longevity is listening to your body. Like if our bodies could literally verbally tell you what it needed on any given basis, we would live until 150. Like we would be
250,
maybe 250, because we would have everything our body needed at any given, or at least we knew.
It would tell us, like, this is what I need.
We knew what our body would need at any given moment. And I even think in a sense of like, imagine if our body could talk to us during like around COVID. Like we would know we have COVID before we took the test.
I don't feel good.
Our body was like, yo, I don't know what foreign substances in me right now.
I knew before I took the test. I was like, something doesn't feel right.
But I'm saying before the symptoms even come. Like I feel like your body.
Sure. Any sickness, any injury.
That would be
like
crazy.
Your Achilles. Your body could be like, my Achilles is about to snap. I'm hanging on. Please don't go play basketball.
Oh my God, I could have used that back in November.
See?
Yeah. Or
so it's with anything. You know?
So I think the name of the game is learning your body's language. Buys you longevity, allows you to live a life that's, free. Like you feel good, you're able to give your body what it needs, and you're able, honestly, like say you have a 6-week program, you would have your body would tell you everything it needed to supplement that program. Just to make sure you get where you need to be. You know what I mean? So
where we want to take this today really is like teaching you how to listen to your body and understanding your body's language, because although it isn't verbal, your body does speak to you. It does tell you most of the time things that are wrong. Think about when you first get sick, you feel off. You feel like, oh, maybe I have a headache or my body's achy. Like your body is speaking to you. Recovery wise, if you're not recovering enough, if you're dehydrated, if you're hungry, my body definitely speaks to me when I'm hungry. So we want to just kind of go over some of the ways that your body does talk to you and what those things could mean, or like identifying the language.
Yeah. So let's just we'll go down the list of everything in regards to health and fitness. So let's start with like working out. You know what I mean? Like whether it's in the process of working out, before your workout, after your workout, your body talks to you in a lot of different ways. So for me, for example, I can only use myself just because it just happened this morning. But today, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I got maybe 4 hours of sleep. And that was just because it was just one of those nights where I just had to get a lot done. I can get 9 hours of sleep tonight if I wanted to. But I woke up this morning. I wanted to work out. And that was one of my priorities today. It was like, I have to get in a workout. I can't start a Monday without moving my body.
And we fly tomorrow.
And when we hopping on a flight tomorrow. So my first instinct was like, all right, I know I only got 4 hours of sleep. I'm tired, but I want to move my body. I need to move my body. And today was more so for mental health. Like I just need to move. That's what helps me out. So today I knew I didn't have the energy, and I tried my best to do the little things to try to give me something to where I'm not going into that workout. Because it's broke, fix broke, right? If you're sometimes when you get too much sleep, you're too rested, and that can make you like lazy during the workout. If you get enough sleep, you feel good. If you don't get a lot of sleep, you feel bad. So I knew that I didn't have the proper rest, and I can't do my normal workout today. I couldn't do my heavy leg day that I normally do. So I just did some steady state cardio just to move my body. But before I even got into the workout, my body was talking to me. It was like, yo, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. Please do not put me through something strenuous. Make sure you stretch today. I got in a nice stretch. I rolled out, and my workout turned out to be great. And now I feel, for 4 hours of sleep, I feel pretty energetic.
That's great.
I mean? So
it's really good.
It's just me recognizing that, like when I was 22, 23, I was 4 hours of sleep.
You would have PR'd on your deadlift.
Oh yeah, today. I would have broke some records. It didn't matter because I was so, obviously when you're younger, you know what I mean? You don't listen to your body a lot because you kind of take a lot of things for granted when you have a little bit of youthfulness behind you. But as you get older and as you turn 30, you start to realize that, you have to, and obviously it takes getting injured and a lot of things happening, but you have to learn how to, sometimes you have to dial it back a little bit. Or sometimes where you might be in the moment, you might feel good, you can push it a little bit more. Even within the workout, you can push it. So that's just a quick example of understanding my situation, understanding that I didn't necessarily have the things that will supplement my normal workout, but I did the things that I needed to do in order to prioritize my workout today and make it happen. So
another way you can listen to your body while working out is, let's say, for example, you try to do a heavy leg day and you get in there, you're achy, you're not feeling it, and you try to push through it, or you don't warm up properly or something to where your knees are like, squat if you want to, and you go into it and you're not feeling it and you try to push through it anyways and you injure yourself, right? Sometimes if you're feeling deep in your soul, today is not a day to be trying to hit a PR.
Yeah.
Don't try to hit that PR.
Sure.
But then on the flip side, there's times where it is just laziness, right? Yeah. You know your body. You know if you're not feeling it because you're fatigued or you're achy or you're dealing with some inflammation, or you know if you're not feeling it because you'd rather stay home and watch TV.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know yourself on what to push through. And we get asked all the time, like, I don't feel good. Should I work out?
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with you, right? And if you're not feeling good because you're getting sick, it's probably not the smartest thing to go try to push your body and give it more to recover from. But if you're just not feeling it, have a little dance party, get out of the funk, and then go work out.
She's been heavy on this dance party lately. Like whenever I'm not into it, she'll put on a song and dance for 3 minutes. Sometimes it helps though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So another instance, and you kind of just mentioned it. Let's say you're working out and you got some knee pain, right? You're doing some lunges, and your knee doesn't necessarily hurt all the time when you're doing lunges, but this particular workout, my knee's hurting. And you do another lunge, you're like, it's hurting. Sometimes you want to tough it out and get through it, but at the end of the day, you got to look at it as, we're training, right? We're not performing. In most cases, we're training. We're not performing. We're not We're not in the NBA. We're not in the NFL. We're not professional athletes.
I definitely could have been in the NBA.
Okay. So we're not in the NBA. We're not in the NFL. We don't have to perform, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes your body, a freak accident can happen. You might have some tightness in your quads and your body's telling you like, yo, something's tight. I'm going to keep pushing this pain on you until you realize that we shouldn't do this anymore. There are some times where I do a first set and my knee hurts and then it completely goes away. And sometimes it's just tense. And once you get that blood flow, it goes through it. So you just have to learn how to listen to your body and understand it's okay to dial back a little bit. You don't have to, you don't have to do those lunges today. You can do a different exercise that can be still effective and be an alternative to those lunges and still, get through your leg day. And sometimes, honestly, less is more. Sometimes you just have to take an L. I can't tell you how many times where I go into a Monday, I'm ambitious. I'm trying to hit these
Mondays
numbers.
are his leg days.
Monday is leg day. If you haven't listened to our...
Mondays are our leg days.
Our
I
leg
do that
day.
too, yeah.
If you haven't listened to how to create your own training program, go listen to that episode. But Monday is leg day for me. And sometimes I go into a leg day. I'm ready. I'm hyped up. It's Monday. I'm trying to start my week off with a good workout. And everything just starts to hurt. Like, I feel like everything just broke down out of nowhere. My hips are hurting. My knees are hurting. And it could be a particular morning where I might have gotten great sleep. Like, I'm having a great morning. I have my morning coffee, everything. And I get to the gym and everything just hurts or something's breaking down. And there's been times where sometimes you got to take an L and less is more. You have to learn where some things you can push through and it's just mental and you just, sometimes it's just laziness, but sometimes it's literally your body saying, bro,
not today.
Not today. Like, I know you had plans today, but we need to reroute. I literally switched that whole workout and I just did my upper body day. And at the end of the day, I still felt good because granted, I didn't get when I wanted to get done, but I made something happen to where I got in my workout and I still got better that day. So it made me feel a lot better about,
And then when you do the lower body day the next day, it might even be a better lower body day than you would have had on that Monday.
And it usually is.
Yeah. So listening to your body sometimes means switching the workouts, and that's okay too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Let's segue that into recovery.
Yeah.
Because again, we have people on our YouTube channel and people who have been commenting and they're really into their fitness. There are a lot of people who are really getting into their body and they're ambitious and they built a completely different lifestyle as far as, really wanting to progress their bodies. And sometimes people, you have to go through a program. You have to go through some consistency with working out to really understand what your body needs in the sense of recovery. And recovery comes in a lot of different forms, right? Recovery comes in stretching, it comes in sleeping, it comes in your nutrition, it comes in even your mental health, right? If you're not mentally there, your recovery,
too stressed to recover.
Your body, stress is a silent killer. Like, your body will literally not recover just because you have too much going on. Your body is under stress. So, in the sense of recovery, let's talk about soreness, right? Soreness is just your body telling you that you ripped up some muscle fibers. In a sense, that's a good thing, right? You worked the muscle that you were wanting to work. Sometimes it might be a little overkill. Sometimes your body's like, yo, that was a lot. Give me some time to recover. And sometimes it's like, yeah, that was a lot, but you can, let's keep moving, right? Let's keep the blood flowing. Let's keep things going. So it's understanding like I think people, when they first start training and they get sore, they're like, I shouldn't work out.
Yeah.
Because
my legs are sore. Are you sure I should be doing legs? Yeah.
Exactly, right? And it's understanding like when to keep moving and when to kind of dial it back. So
give yourself time.
Exactly. So if you're crazy sore and let's say you did a leg day on Monday, Wednesday, you're sore. I mean, you can barely sit down, you can barely move. Probably shouldn't do legs for a while. Give your body time to recover. You're not going to be 100% when you want to do those legs again or whatever muscle group you're working, but listen to your body in the sense of if you can perform the movements and feel good about it within your workout, then that's a good sign that you're okay. But if you can't move during your workout, then that's a sign that you should just do something else.
And other signs of recovery, you might notice, let's say every day in a week, you're so fatigued.
Yeah.
You're not getting through your workouts. You're noticing that your weights are decreasing. You can't lift like you used to. If you're a runner or cardio, you might notice that is, you're more sluggish, So if you're starting to notice signs of like you're not progressing, you may not be recovering properly.
Yeah.
And like he said, it could be anything from you're stressed, you're not getting proper sleep. And so a lot of times people will say, I'm not recovering right. What do I need to change?
I have no clue.
A lot could be going wrong, or it could be
things.
one thing, like you could say like, I'm eating well, I'm getting 8 hours, da 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 da. Are you drinking enough water?
Yeah.
Those 8 hours of sleep, are you truly sleeping 8 hours, or are you laying down and then on your phone, and then like by the time you really fall asleep, you're getting 6.5, you know? So your body does talk to you when it needs more recovery. Injuries sometimes can be a sign that you're not recovering, and that could be from not warming up properly, not cooling down properly, not stretching, not getting in the mobility work, so many different things. So if you're feeling signs of fatigue, if you're feeling like I'm not progressing, or you're always sore, it's good to be sore from your workout, but it also, if you're not sore, it doesn't mean you're not doing it right. Right? Like the goal shouldn't be, I want to be so sore today. That shouldn't be.
That's how I used to be.
Yeah.
I was a sore
no
chaser.
pain, no gain is not always the right thing to say. So sometimes, if you're sore all of the time, you're probably not recovering properly. So, listen to your body when it comes to just the signs that it's telling you in terms of recovery around your workouts, but also around when you're not working out too. Like if you are taking a rest day, see how you feel on that rest day. Are you so sluggish and fatigued that you're like, man, like I'm glad I'm not working out today? Or is it just like, I feel good, I just need a day to recover?
Yeah, and I think a easy one that, again, I'm preaching to myself, but a easy one and a big one is sleep. Like is a lot of times people, we can go to sleep or be in bed for 8 hours, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting 8 quality hours of sleep. And I think that's one thing that I learned over time. Like I used to be that guy, Toya knows, I used to be that guy who, get that 5 to 6 hours, I'm good. Like I can survive the day. But as I got older, like I said, I started to feel the difference. And even when I was more disciplined and she finally figured out how to get me to bed at least by 9 or 9:30, I still, even though I was in bed for 7 to 8 hours, I still felt like I wasn't getting quality sleep. And that's where, you really have to be mindful of that. And also for me, sleep means shutting my brain off. If I don't shut my brain off, if I don't cut off like social media, if I don't cut off tasks that I need to do, then I'm not going to get a quality amount of sleep. I can't tell you how many times I've woken up in the middle of the night and thought about something like, oh shoot, I forgot to email, or I forgot to write this program for my client who needs it at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? And it affects your sleep. And, one thing that kind of showed me that was, what's the name of the brand? Whoop. I had a Whoop watch. And if you don't know what a Whoop watch is, it's a company that basically, it's like a fitness watch. It tells you your calories, your calorie burn. It tells you a lot of different things. But the biggest reason that I used the Whoop was to really understand my sleep. And you could wear it overnight and it gives you your sleep score every morning. So I had the Whoop for about 6 weeks or so before I was like, all right, I got too many watches. Like I can't wear an Apple Watch and a Whoop. I did it at the same time, honestly, to try to compare the two. But the Whoop, it made me get to sleep at a good times where I would go to sleep for 8 hours, and then the Whoop would tell me like, yo, you got 5 hours of sleep and you spent 45 minutes in REM. And I was like, what? I was in bed for 8 hours. How did I only get 5 hours of sleep? So it just goes to show that, turning your brain off, like I said, mental health, right? Making sure your stress levels are low. That's going to make sure that you're getting quality sleep. And sleep, I think, for me personally, is the most important aspect of recovery, in the sense of making sure that I have the energy that I need to have in order to perform every day. So that's just in the sense of recovery. Again, go down that checklist. If you feel like you're not recovering properly, listen to your body, check down the water, the stretching, the sleep, go down the checklist and make sure that you're doing all those different things. And if you aren't, then I guarantee you improve one of those things, you'll recover a lot more efficiently.
And that kind of leads us into listening to your body with injuries. There are times that freak injuries happen, like the Achilles. He had no Achilles pain. He had
nothing,
no signs, no calf pain. It just happened. Wow. And same thing could be like, you could be hiking and like trip and fall or just anything. Like it doesn't have to be, like, oh, I felt knee pain. I should have listened. I pushed my knee and now I have whatever, So, but sometimes you do have the symptoms and the signs. And if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, eventually there will be a tear or an injury or a break or whatever, So having proper recovery, your body is telling you these things so that something else bad doesn't happen. And it could be the same thing, like he said, if you're drinking a lot or eating poorly, your body is going to start telling you by different symptoms that things are shutting down. You can't go buy a new liver. You can't go buy a new body, right? So if you're putting all of these bad things into your body, regardless of what they are, your body will tell you. And if you don't listen, then
now that I think about it, I don't think I've had a single injury, like major injury. I've torn my MCL twice.
I don't think I've had a major injury. I've torn my MCL twice.
I kind of mixed up like my point. I was saying I don't think I've had a major injury to where I could see the signs of it coming.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
They were all like freak accidents.
Yes.
Like I remember, like in college, I tore my MCL. I was backpedaling and it just gave out. Yeah. It wasn't like I didn't make a crazy cut. I didn't
like
jump
have pain right before and then you're like, oh, I shouldn't backpedal.
Yeah, I didn't jump up and land improperly. I literally was backpedaling. Like one of the most simple football drills that you can do, and bop, it just gave out. But in hindsight, right, I could probably guarantee you that I might not have had maybe not enough. My nutrition might not have been there. We're practicing in 90, 100 degree heat. Probably my hydration wasn't there. I was probably super tight. I know for a fact in college I wasn't getting enough sleep. You know what I mean? So in hindsight, it's an accumulation of things that can lead to freak accidents, right? Your body sometimes, even though you may feel good on the outside, your body sometimes is like, I can't take it anymore. Pop.
Boom. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure that even if you feel great sometimes, know that your body needs things. It's always, that's why I asked if your body would be annoying, because I feel like it will always want something or need something to make sure that everything's intact or everything is, performing properly.
Yeah.
That is so.
And I think with diet and nutrition, that's kind of leading us to our next topic. There are so many different
here we go.
things that your body could tell you, and everyone's body is so different. Someone might have a food allergy, let's say to peanuts. And if I tell you peanut butter is one of the greatest foods and you should eat it every single day,
you're done.
Right? And so I think with diet and nutrition, I think a lot of times people are like, what should I eat? What should I eat? And whatever feels good to you is really what I want to say all the time, because rice grains, for example, this is something like, especially if you've been following us for a while, I used to eat rice every day. I loved rice. And 4 or 5 years ago, I just was developing these rashes and just having this insane bloating. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm bloated. I mean, it was like
pregnant.
Like I had a huge rock a boulder in my stomach. Like, I kid you not, I went to doctors and we finally pinned it down to, I was drinking this protein powder with rice protein. And I was having, when I tell you, I took everything out of my diet to try to figure out what was going on. We literally went
vegan for like 4 or 5 months.
It was like literally. And so finally one day I had only made smoothies, and then it went to where I was just eating like chicken and rice. I was trying to be bland. And so anyways, I can have rice cakes, but I cannot eat a bowl of rice. I cannot have rice protein, perfect bars. They're made with rice. I can't have those. Like, there are certain foods that I eat it and a couple hours later, and it's painful. And then I'll get like a rash on my forehead. It's wild.
I kid you not. Like the first time we kind of recognized it, like she literally looked 5 months pregnant. Like
in
that's
an instant.
In an instant. It's almost like you can see her stomach expanding because of the insensitive.
And I should like post or share pictures one day, because when I explain it to people, they're like, oh, like just bloating. It's just bloating. Like, no, it was scary at a point. And so sometimes people will be like, well, if you can't have rice grains, why can you eat a rice cake? I wish you could tell me.
I don't know.
I wish you could tell me. So there are certain foods, and it could be in the way that a rice cake is processed. It could be, it's so many different things, but there are certain foods that might work well. I have a client who doesn't digest spinach or salmon well. God. Those are two things that if I wrote a diet for a client would probably be in there.
Yeah.
And it does not fit well in her digestion. So there are things that you might eat that might be good for you and not for someone else, right? And so listen to your body. If you're eating something and your body doesn't digest it well, or you don't feel well after eating it, there's a reason why, you know? And so even if it's salmon or it's rice or it's something that is healthy to the general population, that doesn't mean your body is going to digest it the same as their body. So this is why one diet doesn't fit all, or why your friend could lose weight on a diet and you do the same diet and you don't lose weight.
Yeah.
So food and nutrition, all the food we eat, carbs, fats, proteins, they're all there for a reason. There's a reason that you're eating protein to recover. It's because your protein is made up of amino acids, which is the building blocks of the protein. Yes. So there's a reason that you're eating carbs. They supply your body with energy. Fats, they have a very important role in your brain health and in digestion and lubrication. There's each food group, each macro has
a responsibility,
a role in your body that's extremely important for keeping you alive.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling lethargic or you're feeling super low energy and you're only eating protein and fat, carbs, like you're missing energy, you know? If you're not recovering properly and you're lifting really hard and you're eating no protein,
boom, that's it.
It's telling you, I need some protein, you know? So when it comes to nutrition, your body speaks to you in that way too, where it's saying, I need a nutrient of some sort, whether that nutrient is a carb, a fat, or a protein, whether it's a micronutrient, whether you're missing some vitamins and minerals. Water is so essential, literally, to keeping you alive. So dehydration, we all know the signs of dehydration, especially right now.
That's like one of the most prominent ways that your body talks to you. When you're dehydrated, you will know. You feel it. You get headaches. You get
where you
brain
can drink
fog.
a glass of water and literally feel your body like coming back to life.
There's been times, I remember when I was in college, again, I played in Houston. Houston is humid, it's hot. And there was one time it got to a point where I could feel the cramps. And that's one thing I struggle with during games, is because we would play and I would drink plenty of water, plenty of electrolytes, but I lost so much sweat that like I always had to find different ways to I was on IVs. Like I would get on an IV at halftime just because it was more effective for me to get through those games than drinking water. And I remember one time I was it got to a point where I could feel the cramps coming. Before I had there were a lot of different remedies. We had, obviously Gatorade and all different types of just salt water. But one thing that we drank was pickle juice. Like that was just, I know it's crazy, but it crazy as it sounds, pickle juice worked for me. Yeah. And it was crazy. As soon as I never even swallowed it. As soon as I like tasted it, my body was like, electrolytes.
Salt.
It was like salt, yes. And I felt better before I even just downed the pickle juice. Like I felt it instantly. So I think that's one of the most prominent ways that your body talks to you is when it comes to food and nutrition, hunger. When you're hungry, right? Your body tells you, you have to get some food in, especially this one right here. It talks to me more than it talks to her.
She's hungry.
She's hungry. Yeah, exactly. And honestly too, learning how to listen to your body in regards to nutrition, it takes time. You're not going to feel it right away. Like some people don't know how to listen to their body, so they don't know what things that are happening within their body or what it means.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might feel it. Like a client might say, like, I'm tired. Like, did you get sleep last night? Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just tired today. That's it. That's all.
I did go out with the company last night and had a whole bottle of wine, but I don't know. Like, I'm just tired. Like, so,
you know what I mean?
and then we talk about it. So.
Exactly.
But sometimes you feel the things going on where we might say, are you getting in enough protein? And they're like, oh, well, I guess I've only been eating French fries for the last 3 weeks.
That's your answer.
You might be missing protein, or we might recognize signs where we might say, like, you haven't been drinking enough water, and they're like, oh, you have a glass here and there, like
And speaking of protein, and it takes a while. I honestly never felt this until maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, but I'm to a point now where And I think it was because like when she did prep for bodybuilding, or she had a bodybuilding show that we were prepping for before COVID kind of canceled everything. But that was the first time I had put myself through I wasn't like following it like 100, maybe 95%. But that was the first time where I started to understand like instances where I needed protein. Like I could walk around, after a workout, obviously I'll eat. And then 3 hours later, I'm like, man, I think I need some protein. Like I feel like I can feel it's this distinct. I can't even describe it.
Yeah.
But it's a certain feeling that my body tells me like, oh, you need some protein right now. I would literally go whip up some chicken breasts or whatever the case may be and feel 1,000% better. So my point is it takes time. Right? You have to learn your body. Right? It's like she said, it's like learning another language. Right? You have to learn how your body is talking to you and understand how to kind of troubleshoot it. To make sure that you're covering every aspect of how your body's talking to you. Yeah. So
I think for the last one, mentally how your body talks to you. That one, like you said earlier, stress.
Yeah.
Like you can do everything right, and if you are stressed, it will eat you from the inside out.
Yeah.
And
or
that is outside in, inside out. Like stress is something, it can make you lose weight. It can make you gain weight. It can give you headaches. It can make you feel like your body is shutting down. Stress is, there's good stress and there's bad stress. If you're working out really hard, that's a stressor to your body, but it's great. Yeah. If you are going through major traumatic events, life changes, things like that, they have a toll on you and on your body.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's in our control, sometimes it's not. So having ways that you cope with those stressors, and I'm preaching to my own choir, like I that's something I'm actively working on, but there's times where I will feel like a migraine coming. My body doesn't feel well, and he'll be like, "You're stressed." And I'm like, "I'm not that stressed. I'm good." And then I'll sit down and like, boom, understand really like the reality of what's happening. But there are times you probably don't notice you're stressed because you're so consumed with all of the stressors that are going on that you're like, it's not stress, I just have to handle it, So that really affects your body too in a way that you have to listen, because if you don't, you will make yourself sick, you will injure yourself, you will continue to go backwards. So much easier said than done. Like I said,
100%. And stress, to be honest with you, is the hardest one to recognize sometimes. Absolutely. Because again, there are a lot of people, we're ambitious, right? We have goals, we have dreams, there are things we want to pursue. And in our last episode, we talked about just our everyday lives and how busy it is. And when you're on the grind, sometimes you have that mentality, like, I don't have time to be stressed. Like, I'm good. Or you keep telling yourself, I'm good.
Too blessed to be stressed.
Yeah, like you tell yourself, like, I'm good. I'm not stressed. Like, nothing can faze me. I'm that guy. But sometimes it's like, you really got to dial back and, really listen to your body and say, like, okay, I got a lot of stuff going on, right? I have a business, I got, and this is hypothetical. I got business, I have kids to worry about, I have, school. Like, it's a lot of different things. When you really put it on a plate, you can see it, right? Sometimes I write down everything that I have going on, because just seeing it on paper kind of allows me to look at it and like, wow, I have a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do all at once. And 24 hours isn't enough time in a day to really do all of this stuff. So it really helps me recognize, like, man, I need to make some priorities. And a lot of times the priorities is myself, right? I need to put more energy into myself to where I can take that step back. Because if you're heavily consumed within everything that you have going on a daily basis, you're going to ignore the stress. And stress will affect you more than everything that we listed today. Your workouts, your nutrition, your recovery, stress will hurt you more than anything, right? So
that's something we're literally both actively working on. So maybe we'll do a whole nother podcast on that. But for sure, it is so true. It will consume. Destroy you.
It will destroy you. You know what I mean? So in order to, listen to your body, I'd say stress is the hardest, and it's not going to be one of those things where your body talks to you, you listen, and you do something, right? You have to almost do it from a preventative standpoint, right? So, for example, we have a lot of travel coming up. We have a lot of things we're trying to accomplish. We have a lot of videos we're trying to do. Also, we have a wedding video we're trying to put out soon. We're excited about that. But with all the things we have coming up, I have to like, prioritize myself within all the stuff that we have going on. So for example, even like today, I'm like, man, I have a lot going on. Like I need to find just a window of time to really put some energy into myself to really break away from it. So I was like, you know what, maybe today I'll go to the golf range and hit some golf balls. Like that's become something that's kind of stress relieving for me because it kind of gets me out. It takes me away from everything. And it kind of helps me focus on a new craft, right? Yeah. I'm not focused on editing this video. I'm not focused on getting back to these emails or a client. I'm just focused on hitting the golf ball as far as I can and, and trying to get better so that I can go play with my friends and beat them every single time. So that is, from a stress standpoint, I think that's the best way to tackle that. Don't let your body talk to you. Take care of your body in the sense of have certain things in place that is going to help you be mentally sane to where your body doesn't have to talk to you, because that's the worst way that your body will talk to you is when it comes to stress. And you'll never even, sometimes you don't even know what to attribute it to. Like you'll have a headache, but you might attribute it to something completely different. But deep down is really just all the stressors that you have going on within your body. So that is pretty much what we wanted to get out of this conversation. Like that, it's just been a burning thought of like, if my body could talk to me, if my body could verbally talk to me, how much better would I be on a daily basis? So as you go throughout your everyday life, when you wake up in the morning, when you're at work, picking up your kids from school, coming home, eating dinner, continue to ask yourself, like, what does my body need right now? Like if my body could talk to me right now, what do you think it would?
Or what signals is it giving? What is it saying? Yeah. Like if you feel the stomach rumbling, what does that mean?
I'm hungry,
right? Yeah. So just being, I think, more aware of what your body is saying, and understanding. And again, like he said, sometimes you might feel something, you may not know where it's coming from, but that kind of gives you a deeper dive into your body and what is going on. Correct. Which is kind of how I found out I had lupus, because I was having all these symptoms, and it was a journey of like, oh, it's this, but you're paying attention, you're making note. And it may lead you to understanding your body in a whole different way. Or like the Greek yogurt. You could be eating that thing every day, and then one day your body's like, all right, that's enough. No more Greek, so.
And to the lupus standpoint too, like, that was a hard thing because you were actively trying to, it wasn't like you were ignoring the signs. You were actively trying to figure out the signs. And the crazy part about that was we were going to doctor's appointment after doctor's appointment, and doctors telling her one thing, doctors telling her another thing. But guess what? It took her
being persistent,
knowing her body, knowing that, no, this isn't it. No, that
I didn't pull a muscle in my chest.
It isn't a pulled muscle. It isn't, a strained rib. This is something going on deeper. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it to you. And it took that mindset of really understanding yourself to where we're blessed to get the breakthrough to understand that we needed to see a rheumatologist.
Because I knew something wasn't right. And long story short, we'll get into this maybe another day, but my mom was diagnosed with cancer at 32. Wow. And she went through the same thing of people telling her she's young, she's fine, she's healthy, she's young, she's fine. And every day my mom came home and knew something was wrong. Yeah. So I think just in a nutshell, that could do one of two things. It could make you freak out like you're sick all the time, or it can also show you like, no, but if you do know your body, listen to your body, listen to yourself, and listen to your gut in everything, always. But especially in instances like that, because if I know I'm doing all the right things, and this kind of wraps up the episode, if you are doing all of the right things, you're eating well, you're working out, you're drinking water, you're recovering, and you're still getting symptoms and signs of something, something's off, and it could be something simple like, you're drinking water, but you're not getting in electrolytes, like you're doing all the right things, but something is just missing and off. So sometimes your body tells you things because it's really trying to get your attention. And sometimes it's telling you things because it's just like, chill out for the day, like sure. There's so many different things, and we covered a lot of different topics. And of course it could be, well, I have a headache. Where is it coming from? Did I drink enough water? Did I eat well? Did I eat something wrong? And sometimes it sucks. It's a guessing game, like finding out the rice. That was and it sucks for him because
I don't even eat rice.
He
as
also
much.
had to do the elimination diet because we cook for each other and eat the same food. Correct. So for him, it was like, oh, we're only eating chicken and sweet potato. Cool.
Or there's literally been times where she'd come home from her Target run with a new snack and she's like, oh, try these.
Oh, man.
And she'll eat a new snack. And then 2 hours later, she's like, oh, my stomach's been hurting. I don't know. I'll go look at the label of that snack, and the second or first ingredient is rice flour.
We love supportive husbands.
And I'm like, Toya, there's rice flour in it. That's why your stomach hurts. She's like, oh my God. And then, it's literally.
I didn't mean it.
It's literally connecting the dots. So
yeah,
we say all this to say, you may not know how to listen to your body in many senses, in many cases, but control what you can control.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we've have experience, right? We've experienced it within our own bodies. We've experienced with, we've worked with so many people to the point where we may not have went through certain things, but we've understood through certain instances that, oh, this happened to a client before. It's probably because of this, right? We have so much data over time to experience to understand like what our body needs at all times. You may not have that yet. You're still figuring out your body, especially if you're just getting into, you're just starting your health and fitness journey. You don't know what your body's telling you, right? So it just takes you being conscious, control what you can control. Think of all the things that we talked about today. And if you have certain symptoms or certain things that you're going through, check down the list, right? Just go down the list and see, am I getting enough sleep? Am I, do I have enough energy? Am I eating enough carbs, protein, whatever the case may be? And I guarantee you might hit one of those boxes and feel completely better once you hit it, right? So it takes time. You're not going to understand it over time. But, the more you learn your body, the more you understand your body. Honestly, again, you'll learn to listen, you'll learn the language, and it's going to buy you some longevity. And again, that's the name of the game, right? We're trying to be on earth as long as possible. We're trying to live health. I'm trying to be honestly, let me be honest with you. I'm trying to be 80 years old going on a 10-mile run because I can. And I feel good, and I'm just
trying to be on a beach somewhere and chilling.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to be that grandpa that's shredded. You know what I mean? So, and feeling good and looking like I got 80 more years to go. You know what I mean? So
I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm here for it.
You should be. We're gonna do it together.
So but listen to your body.
Real quick, we got about 5 or 10 minutes. Let's do a quick little segment. You know what I mean? Because we did that in the first episode, so I figured we should do it real quick. So
FAQ.
So if you don't know, we're gonna do some segments. FAQ, frequently asked questions, because we get asked a lot of questions, especially on the YouTube channel. Some that we've answered multiple times before, but we're gonna keep nailing it until you guys understand. And whatever the case may be. So we got a few questions for each other that we're going to answer real quick, just to kind of cover some things that you might be wondering about, or, whatever.
Or that's been asked a lot.
Yeah. Cool. So I got a question for you, Toya, and I'm going to ask it in a perspective of, I hit the mic, sorry. I'm going to ask it in the perspective of a 58-year-old male. All right. So, hi, Toya. My name is Jermaine, and I've been doing your workouts on YouTube. They're amazing. There are some movements or some exercises or workouts that I'm not necessarily comfortable with or can't do. I got some knee pain, shoulder pain here and there. So can you make a workout, for us 50 plus, just to make sure that, you're covering all the demographics, make sure the people who are 50 plus have something to work out to.
So you're asking me to make a workout for 50 plus?
Yeah, so because it's a lot of us out here.
That's your question?
Yeah,
the channel's full of them.
What do you mean?
Stop putting an age limit on a workout. Stop.
Why?
Stop limiting yourself, because
but I'm
Jermaine,
50. I
that's
can't
a great
do
question.
What the
I'm going to answer it for you. Yes, you can. First of all, there is no rule book that says at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 that you have to stop doing X, right? Okay. So you never want to limit yourself to a workout or from a workout simply because of your age. You, if anything else, should be doing strength training. Don't you want healthy, strong joints and bones, Jermaine? So there are no age limits to the. I would never make a workout and say this for all my people who are 50 plus or 60 plus or 70 plus, because I would never want someone who's 30 thinking they can't do that workout.
Yeah.
And I would never want someone who's 60 thinking they can't do a workout who's made for 30-year-olds, right? We have physically literally had clients in their 70s, 80s doing stuff that our clients in our 20s can't do. And I'm not exaggerating. So doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your age. Limit or modify a workout how you need to, regardless of how old you are. If you're 80 and you can squat with a 15-pound dumbbell, congratulations. That's amazing. If you're 80 and you have limitations that keep you from squatting with a 15-pound dumbbell, that is you, and that's okay. You might be able to squat to a box or squat body weight or put a band on or hold a 5-pound weight, right? It doesn't matter just because you're 80, and you could be 20 years old and not be able to do that, right? So we're never going to make an age-limited or age-ranged workout because we don't want you to put yourself in that category. And also, how offensive to people who are in their 50s, who are 60s, 70s. Don't put them in that. Don't say for people like us. And don't say for those of us in that age category, because our Facebook group is full of them. People out here breaking records, lifting heavier than they did in their 20s, running marathons, doing things that they didn't do when they were younger because of that fear, right? And don't be afraid to jump. And let me say one more thing, and I'm going to wrap it up. We can do a whole nother episode on it. Squatting when you're older. I don't squat. I don't lunge. I don't deadlift. You don't sit to a toilet? That's a squat.
That's a squat.
Is it not?
That's a
squat. So as you get older, you should be focused on those movements because they're functional and they're going to do what? Increase your longevity.
Longevity. That's the name of the game.
Boom.
Yeah. And then also too, I think it's more so people I think that, and there's nothing wrong with this, right? But there's more so people who have limitations.
Yes.
Who are the ones that say, create this for us. But in assuming that everybody 50
who's
plus
in that
has
age
limitations. But the thing is, if you have limitations and you're trying to, we get a lot of questions saying like, I wish this workout didn't have lunges. Why?
Yeah.
You don't, is it because you don't like lunges? Are lunges too difficult for you? Do they hurt your knees? A lot of the times it's a personal issue that needs to be addressed in order for you to be able to do lunges. I think a lot of people assume, I'm 50, lunges. I don't know. Sometimes people hear stuff like, I'm 50.
You lunges, should stop doing lunges at your 50th birthday.
But these are all, we can go down the list. Deadlifts, this is a functional exercise. Squats, lunges, push-ups, all of these different functional exercises are literally, when I train somebody for the first time, a lot of cases, we don't even touch weights. I'm just there to assess how you move. Can you squat? How do you squat without weight? How do you lunge without weight? If you can't,
how do you do it with weight?
Exactly.
Right.
Even that, exactly. So if you can do a perfect squat without weight, and I put a 20-pound dumbbell in your hand, and it looks like everything, it looks like everything falls apart, right? So, these are all functional movements that everybody, no matter what your age, you should be able to do it to some extent, right? So a lot of times, if you feel like you need to, you need a workout to, fulfill your limitations, you need to address your own personal problems that you have going on.
Stop putting your friends in the same category. They're out there running marathons.
They're out here, man. And there are people 30 years, got 30 years on us in their 60s running, doing things that I can't even. I can tell you right now, granted, I hurt my Achilles, but even with a great Achilles, I cannot run a marathon. And I know 50, 60 plus year olds who have ran multiple marathons, right? So don't put that limitation.
They're swinging kettlebells. They're doing all the things that you're putting limitations on yourself. And if you can't properly do it, that's a whole other category. But don't limit yourself just because of age. And maybe we'll do a whole podcast episode on that. We should. Because we get that a lot. That's a good FAQ.
Thank you.
Cool.
Should you ask me one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my question to you is, I love your 30-minute dumbbell strength workout. Can I do this workout every single day?
Yes and no. And here's why. And I think people ask this, granted, people ask this because let's say the 30-minute, you said 30-minute workout. People ask this because they see the workout, they do it, and they love it. And they're comfortable with it. They're like, even if they don't complete it, they know it's something that's achievable.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, all right, if I do this every day and get better at it, I'm going to get better, which
I'm achieving something.
Yes, which
success.
To that extent, yes, especially if you're just getting started. Movement is going to work more than anything. You don't need this specific program. Honestly, if you're just getting started and you're just getting into a routine, movement every day is going to work. Mm-hmm. It's going to help your body, right? But we've talked about this again, go back to that episode about how to create your own training program. You do that, let's say you do it every day. And I'm assuming people, when they say every day, I'm assuming it's not Sunday to Sunday, right? I'm assuming
it's Sunday to Sunday.
Okay, it's Sunday.
Like, can I do this every day?
Okay, so yes and no, and it depends on the workout. But it depends what your goals are too. Because if you're looking to lose weight, at some point that workouts are going to become easy. If you're not doing any type of progressive overload or whatever the case may be, it's going to come to a point where your body's going to get acclimated to that workout to where if your goal is to lose body fat or to build strength, you're going to plateau, right? So yes, to a certain extent, if you're moving for the first time and you haven't, you haven't had structure, that movement every day is going to help you. And even if it's just 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day, it's good exercise, right? But as you go through time, let's say 3 or 4 weeks down the road, and you still, first of all, you're going to get burnt out. And I can't tell you how many times have we had, we get this a lot, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. And I try to support, there's been times where I try to support it, but it doesn't work. But I see people, they'll comment, and they're like, I'm going to do this every day for 30 days. And they'll write in the comments, and I'm going to come back and write down how I did each day. And I'll see day one, did 20 minutes, burn this amount of calories. And I never see them, they might do it 2 or 3 times. And I think
the longest I've seen is day 6.
Maybe day 6 or so, right? So I think people get comfortable with the workout and they want to do it every day and they like it, but you got to switch it up at some point or another. And especially if you're someone who does work out frequently, doing it every day is not going to help you. You got to continue to trick your body. You have to continue to add some variation, some variability to your workouts to make sure.
Push yourself. If you're doing the same workout every day, eventually you're just going through the motions and you're just like, you know what's coming next. So you're just kind of going through it. I see your little trick. I see your little trick.
Exactly. And then honestly too, I think it's a mental game too, because within a workout, right, you know the workout by then. You know the squats, you know which exercise is coming up next, and you probably might have an exercise within the workout you don't like, and you might purposely slack through it. You know it's coming up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let me just get to the abs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So continue to push yourself, continue to make yourself uncomfortable. Is it okay to do it every day? Yes and no, but remember, you need that variability in order to grow and progress. So
wonderful.
That's my answer to that.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap up this episode, my body is talking to me.
Oh, if your body could talk to you right now, LaToya, what would it say?
You ran on that treadmill this morning and you didn't feed me after.
What's wrong?
You decided to do a little podcast after. I am hungry. Where is my food?
Yeah, my body's saying kind of the same thing, but it's also like, yo, bro, your light gray shirt turned into a dark gray shirt today because you sweat so much. So you got about 1 hour to get me some water or electrolytes, or I'm going to cramp this joint up.
Oh, my body said you got about 10 minutes to feed me, or we're just going to lay on the floor and it's going to be too late. And you know what happens when it's too late? If it gets to a point where I get so hungry, I would rather just go to sleep.
She said it's too late.
Than eat. It gets to a point where I would rather just go to sleep.
And
I don't have time for a nap today, so.
And that is not honest. And her just wanting to go to sleep, that's not her body talking to her. That's just.
It just shuts down.
It just shuts down.
It just shuts down. Like,
so don't let your body.
If I tell him it's getting to that point, he jumps up.
Yeah,
He's like, nope. What
action.
Are we eating? What are we eating? Because if I get to the point, it's over. But no, all of this to say, listen to your body and the many different things that it tells you. Yeah. But we appreciate you guys for joining us.
Yes. Make sure you go hit that.
No, I was just going to say, keep the suggestions coming. We've seen a lot of suggestions, some topics that a lot of people have asked where we're like, okay, definitely got to talk about this. Mm-hmm. But if there's specific things you would like us to talk about or things that you're curious about, health, nutrition, lifestyle, stress, mental health, us in general, whatever you guys want to.
It's a lot to talk about.
It's a lot to talk about.
We have a lot of episodes to come. So again, we appreciate the support. If you haven't already, go to the Juice and Toya podcast YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. We're excited about that. We appreciate everybody who's been listening, joining along, and continue to share, man. I think this, we've had a lot of feedback within the first couple episodes, and people are loving it. And, we've had, since the first episode, people are like, oh, I wish it was longer. So we're trying to stretch it to an hour or so maybe, but not too long because we got stuff to do. But again, appreciate y'all. Go to the Juice and Toya podcast channel, but also share it on Apple. We have it on Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Drop us a rating, drop us a like, and again, continue to let us know what you want. We're looking, we built our YouTube channel off of you guys, so we're gonna do the same thing with this podcast as well. So again, we thank you guys for joining us for another Juice and Toya podcast, and we'll see you at the next.
See you all at the next one.